help train people from Campus Life. I want to talk to you about that. And I'm like, oh, you know, would you like to do the Bob program? She's like, yeah, I really want to do the Bob program, get an intern. So, you know, this is the end of the sales process, if you like, for the events that we've run, where we start getting people enrolled in the program, matching. So, and I know that, you know, it's taken some time, but, you know, that's how business works. And so these people will then be the final, you know, matching process, if you like. We've had quite a few clients, where we've done interviews with students. Some of them are waiting on answers and some of them have started, but, you know, it's sort of in process. So, so that's where we are in the stage of development. Now, don't forget that, you know, once you finish your 6 months, doesn't mean you have to part ways and never see us again. There's still going to be opportunities for you, because you're in the, you know, the inaugural group. So then we'll start with the next phase of the Campus Life process, which is either consulting, like helping you maintain that work, but on a paid level, or we go into helping you with employment. The market, to be honest, is a little soft out there for employment. I'm not sure if you have other roles or work with other businesses, but I'm consistently meeting with people who are looking for work. So I just met with a friend literally 2 minutes ago who's at a work, you know, struggling to get a role. He's an older person. And so companies are just not in expansionary mode. So when they're not expanding, they're not employing new people, you have to wait for someone to leave in order to be replaced. And, you know, a lot of the time they're looking for cuts with things like, you know, to use AI. It doesn't mean there's not opportunities, just means you have to be the top of the tree, the most qualified and the most engaging in order to get those roles. But that's the benefit of working with us, because, you know, the people that we've trained in the past have got those good roles. So I think at the start of the process, I told you about my previous interns. So Lily and Chloe as some examples. So Lily went on to be a manager at another marketing agency that does paid marketing. A different sort of style of marketing. So she didn't go in as a 20-year-old intern. She went as a 20-year-old manager, and she's still working there now. And Chloe went on to work at L'Oreal and beat out 600 odd applicants to get that job, and she's still there in our manager training program. So we train them well, and often the people we have, obviously it's not just us, you know, you can't make a nice cup out of clay that's not robust, so you need the raw materials. But we do pretty well at polishing that up into a great candidate, and we'll help you with that process. So as we get towards the tail end of Campus Life, we'll start doing things like, okay, how do we get your brand on point for the next phase? How do you do those interviews? How do you do the networking, and even bringing people in who may be recruiting, right? So companies to meet you all. So this is why it's important for you to come to events, you know, and practice your networking skills, get to meet people. It's not easy. A lot of you might be introverts or shy, but it's very important. Like, you know, Matt, who was just here, he was saying that a recruiter told him that the job market's like an iceberg, and 10% of jobs are advertised and 90% are filled from people know or internally. And I used to think it was more like, I don't know, 60-40, as in 40% are advertised, 60% are not. But that's just what the recruiter said to him, is it's 90-10. And probably the reason is it costs money to advertise now. Like it's very expensive to advertise a role on, not for us because we do it on LinkedIn, but if you use Seek or you use a recruiter, you know, a recruiter will charge about 30% of the salary, 30%, 40% of the salary. So if you're, you know, $100,000, that's $30,000 to $40,000 to find an applicant. Yeah. So if we have a well-trained, you know, and obviously you guys may not be on that level, but if you got a well-trained somebody with a good reference from someone like us, you know, it's quite an easy sell for you to say, you know, because you're going up against grads, right? And you've now got experience and credibility and contacts. So that's sort of the future. Now, the other thing I just wanted to, before Pearly goes on and see her and does a little bit of extra training, is we had an approach. We've got people who want to give you some sort of value add with training. So this particular lady is a finance professional and wants to train particularly females, but also younger people on financial literacy. So, which I think is actually really good, because a lot of people just don't understand money, finances, how to manage it, how to keep it. And so, I think that that's a very positive thing that we could have as part of our training program. So I told her to get in touch with you, Pearly, which she wants to recruit someone. So during that process, we'll talk about how she can come in and do a guest sort of spot and do a bit of a training program for you guys as a value add. I think that'd be really cool. So
that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So before I jump over to Pearly, is there any questions anyone has? Any feedback from the events or anything apart from the photos look good? No? Any questions? Feel free to pop your hand up or write in the chat if you do. Otherwise, I hand it to Pearly and she's going to go through some process things. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. I'll hand over to you. I'll go on mute.
Thanks, Andrew. I think before I go through the briefing process, I would like to hear some, sharing and feedback from people who have been working with WILB participants. How's that experience have been? Like Cassie and Jerry, you have been working with Rosalind. How's the experience look like? What kind of tasks are you guys working on at the moment? If you want to share?
Yeah, so at the moment, we're pretty much starting kind of from scratch with her business. So right now, she just wants us to work on getting a project plan sorted that shows the tasks or the deliverables that we can do for the rest of the coming weeks. And then at the moment right now, it's also just researching, because she's still trying to figure out her tone for the website, branding, all of that stuff. So she's just having us look at other websites and get inspiration from them so that she can apply it onto her own website. So yeah, mainly focuses right now is just website branding and tone, as well as just getting a project plan sorted for her.
Yeah, that sounds good. And sorry, I was just getting distracted. But how are you guys involved in that process at the moment?
So we're meeting up with her weekly on Tuesdays, except at the moment the past few days it's kind of been on a Wednesday, and we just pretty much go over the brief that she's provided us, which is quite extensive, and there's a lot of things that she wants to do. So right now we're just trying to help her condense it by doing certain bits first to get it all, sort of to get structure, I'd say. So yeah, we're meeting up with her weekly, and then we're also doing our own research and all that on the side as well. And doing that through, I've been putting meetings for myself in the Google Calendar for the Intern CampusLife email, so that way that's tracked, and I'm doing the work outside of just meeting up with the client as well.
Yeah, that's great. And is she gonna do the website by herself, or do you know that she's gonna, get someone to do it? Or
I think she's might get someone to do it, or she's also thinking about doing it through Squarespace as well. So she's gonna have a look at some templates and see what she prefers. Because at the moment she's just wanting to get us to have a look at color inspiration, what colors that she wants to do for her website, and how the logo and all that wants to look as well. So a lot of it is just getting inspiration right now.
Yeah, that's good. I think one of the process at Social Start that we do is when the client want to do a website branding or brand asset for themselves, we would recommend them as well, but in the way that we will know what is the outcomes that the client want to have first. For example, what kind of, so we know that she want a website, but what kind of pages on the website that she want to prioritize what, and then from there you will create a few interview questions to ask her to get her insights and even her tone of voice as well, and then recommend back on, here's what I think you should do, or this is what I recommend, and then just let her to just give her a bit of insight and recommendation, and then you can work from there.
Yeah. So that's what me and Cherry have been doing. We've been looking at inspiration and then just seeing what she could possibly do and how this would suit her business.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get more questions from her as well when I see her tomorrow, and then try and go from there too.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Thanks for sharing. How about Kelly? Do you want to share your experience working with Mark and Will?
It's quite good.
Yeah. What are you
I
working on at
learned
the
a lot
moment?
from Mark, and Mark recently is want to catch us the courses because she left like 2 weeks programs, so she want to catch us this thing first. And we just finished meetings at like half an hour ago. Yeah, it's quite good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. I saw that you are working on optimizing his LinkedIn profile at the moment.
Yeah, and this week I will working on the competitive analysis and avatar.
Yeah, love it. Cool. Thanks for sharing. Okay. So thanks for your update on the progress of the task that you are working for the client. Is there anyone else want to share your experience or any feedback or any tips you want to share with the group before I jump into the process? All right. So if there's no question or no other feedback, I'll share my screen and I'll show you the brief. Oh, okay. There's someone raising their hand. Yeah, feel free to unmute and.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm outside, but yeah, I just wanted to share my experience. So Shweta and I are working with Brian, and
Yeah.
and I'm actually scheduled to meet him on Thursday in the morning for actually a run, to be honest. And and yeah, I'm gonna meet him and then probably get a coffee with him. I'm gonna try to keep up. I'm probably not gonna be able to keep up.
Good luck.
Running and talking.
Yeah, probably talking after the running, because during the running I'll probably be dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also I developed a certain content plan as well, just to practice
Yep.
some of my creative skills, because I am leaning towards that side. And I spoke with Brian, and he's down to capture a little bit of content. So I'll probably take um, 2 cameras. That I got a drone as well, so I'm probably going to capture some content with that, along with another camera. And yeah, I'll be updating Momina on how it goes. But yeah, content wise, that's what's happening. And Shweta is working on the rest. But yeah, I'm just practicing my creative with Brian and that aspect, because he seemed like he wanted to capture some content as well. And yeah, it's just really interesting. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, love it. And you are working on social style marketing as well, right, Savio?
Yes, correct. That's right. So,
Yeah, love that. Have you started the process yet, or just
so
I mean,
process as in like for social stuff.
mhm.
For that, I will be coming up with certain UGC content.
Yeah.
And also helping Momina do some copy as well.
Yeah.
But all yet to be discussed tomorrow with the meeting with Momina.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Thank you for sharing.
No worries.
Anyone else want to share? Okay, so I think there's a lot of like different type of tasks that you guys are working at the moment. Most of them are content creation. Some of them are, LinkedIn optimization, website branding, trying to help the client to have their branding guidelines up and ready for other marketing materials. So I thought I'll go through the briefing process so that you guys have a clear idea of, when a client requires or asks you to do something, we should have like a brief template. And we already write a template here already, which Annie did, so that you can just duplicate it, fill in the information as the client briefs you. It's just so there is alignment and transparency on the task brief, and also like you can know what is the deadline that the client is expecting you to deliver the task to them, and to meet that deadline, what are the internal review processes would be, just to make sure that those deadlines can be met and the quality is ensured to be good standard to present to the client. So here's a process template that I would like to show you. Is the screen coming through okay for you guys? Yeah. So there's a breakdown between the 3 different folders here. You can see there's a brief. Another one is to have in mind, like any outstanding notes that you need to take note from the client, or anything that they highlight that they like or didn't like in the meeting. And then another one would be the process of how you're going to do it. Yeah, so I'm going to go through the detail of it. So for the client brief, we will have the client name. What is the project title? Is it like the website building, or content creation, stuff like that, and the date that the brief was provided. And then you will write a short summary of what is the project look like, what is being created, what is needed, and where it's need to be published or shared. Like, is it going to be published on Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever? And then what is the objective of that task as well? Like, for example, recently I received a deliverable of Nicole, and she's working on a 2 to 3 minutes video for Tiana. However, it's really details in terms of the creative directions. But then what I haven't seen there is what is the objective of that task? Like, what is Tiana is aiming for, and what she's looking at for that video to be produced. Is it like going to be on LinkedIn? Is it going to be on YouTube? Is it going to be on Instagram? Because each different platform, they will need different types of size, formats, and even like the hook, the length of the video. So if you have the clear expectation and goal from the client, then you will be able to deliver the task closer to the expectation. So just the type of the objective here. If it's short video, how many short video is required? If it's visual or graphics, how many of them is required? Is it like a single image graphic, or is it a carousel, for example? And total deliverables as well. Like what is the total number of the posts that needed? And yeah, captions, visuals, and stuff like that. And then the next thing is the creative directions and references. This one is really important because for any social media post or website copy we want to produce for clients, we want the tone and style to be aligned. All of them need to be consistent across a lot of website and social media channel for them. One way that we can do this more effectively is at Social Star. We will leverage ChatGPT to write this one as well. So for clients like Brian or Mark, they already have their website going on. They already have social media content going out already. And most of them already have their own tones and style, right? So what we can do is we can write a prompt for ChatGPT to gather, to analyze his website, to analyze his social media, and produce like a brand directories and brand tone and style for you. And what you do is you can download it as a file, put it into your folder, and then you can add that file into your ChatGPT folder as well. So I'll show you the process at the moment on how we do it on ChatGPT so that you have an idea on how to do it. Let me share the other browser. Okay, can you see this now? Okay, so for example, we do one for BRI, and what the prompt that we put in on there is analyze BRI business by analyze BRI businesses like their website, social media platform, and communication, and give me the insight to their brand tone. And then we put in the website link there so that ChatGPT can come back with us for some results. Or if they want to clarify something, they will ask us to provide more details, information for them. And then once they ask this, we can either provide more information, we can provide more information to them, and we add on another prompt for them. Like, for example, you are a brand and marketing expert reviewing the entire of their brand presence, especially how they communicate, their language, their tone, the values that drive their business, and then have to write on their behalf. So, and then what they produce for us is this document. They will produce like the whole BRI brand voice and communication analysis, including language style, tone, key themes, messaging, emotional and psychological appeals. It's really detailed. Like they will give you like the example of the phrases or the words that the brand is usually using as well. So which is really important to use later on. However, one thing to note is after they produce it to you, just make sure to triple check it. Like you check it by yourself to ensure all the information is correct before you actually applying it. And then after they produce this file for you, you can download it to your computer. And then what you do is you will go back to your ChatGPT. We already bought a ChatGPT Plus, which have a lot of good function there for you to use. And we would love for you to leverage it and get the most out of it as well. So, for example, I can see that you guys already create a lot of photos here already, which is great. So whenever, like, if you don't work on the account anymore, if someone jumping in, there will be already a lot of conversation saved there for people to have a look at the background information and context. And ChatGPT will capture all of the information for the future results as well. Let's say it's Rosalind, for example. What you do, you just click add file and then add that brand tone analysis there. So it's captured on ChatGPT on the conversation between you and ChatGPT within Rosalind folder itself. And then any future content that you want to add, you can just add another prompt for ChatGPT to refer back to that file to ensure the tone and the style is aligned and consistent. Is it clear for you guys? Yeah? Okay. Is there any question on that? All right. So if there's no question, then I'll continue to do another, the brief template. So after you have a clear creative direction and references already, then there will be, you want to do a technical requirement as well. So if the client require you to produce a specific post, for example, just make sure to confirm with them on the formats that they want you to produce as well. Is it like PDF? Is it PNG? Is it, you know, other format? Any dimensions and or resolution that they would like. If it's a LinkedIn post, what is the size that should be? If it's a Instagram post, what is the size that is optimized for Instagram? And then any asset sources that you can access as well. For example, if after like Brian, he want you to like record some video or some images from his competition, for example, and this would be saved on his phone or his drive, then you will need to access those files to create a social media post. So it's good to have a link to those references to ensure you can use it for the future social media posts. And then another thing is timeline and milestones. So what I can see at the moment is you guys doing a good job in, you know, having a clear deadline on a specific task that clients give you. Like if, but is most of the time is the final delivery date. But to meet those final delivery days, there will be a lot of internal review as well, which I would love if you could set those expectations during the meeting as well, so that it's not just you, but the client and your body is clear on the date that they need to review as well, even for me as well. So it should be, what is the first draft completion day is, and then when your body need to review and give feedback to you by, and then when do I need to review and give feedback to you by, because it's good to have a deadline so that I know, me and your body know when to prioritize the task, when do we need to get back to you by. And then, clear date on the second draft, the second review and feedback, and then that is when the final delivery dates come in. If that makes sense, does that all make sense to you guys? Okay, cool. And then the tips confirm, all the content matches your client tone, style, and voice. Double check the formatting, keep references organized, always to ensure all the file is saved in your folder in the intern drive, just so we have everything organized and keep it all in one place. And then in the second tab, you will see to have in mind. So if there's anything, you can paste and jot down important information to keep in mind when creating content or even doing other tasks. Just quickly pop them here. Like if the client gives you any, specific notes, just put them in here so that you can refer back when you're creating content. And then now, it is about the content creation, I think, this one. So it would be good to know about the topic of the post that you're about to do. Instead of just jumping into writing, and you might be able to be like, I don't know what I'm going to write. So it's always good to have a topic first, what you're going to post about, and then break down step to get the final stage. What do you need to do? For example, for the blog, you need to, write down the topics or the theme that you want the blog going to be. And then the next step is writing down, the interview questions so that you can get the insight from the client, and then setting a time to meet the client to get that interview done so that you can get the insight from them. And then next step is, transcribe that insight into the blog post. And then it's not just finished at the blog post, but then from that blog post, you're going to create the caption, you're going to create a thumbnail for the blog post, for example. Of those to do, I would recommend to put it in here so that you can keep track, and when you've done a specific task, you can tick it off. And so you know exactly what you have done and what you haven't, so that you can focus on what is needed to be done most. And any question you might have as well in the meeting. So here's an example that Annie did for me. So she did a blog on a day in life of a marketing coordinator, and her to-do list is like the first draft of the visual, the thumbnail, the first draft of the blog copy, the first draft to be reviewed, if she fixed it or not, when is the second review, and is it finally done? And then as she finished each of the tasks, she's gonna tick it off. And then when she go back to this document, she know exactly that, she's still waiting for the second review to get it done. Yeah. And then when she do the task, if she have any question for me, she might pop it in here as well. And then it's just so she can remember during the meeting, she can ask me, or she can just email me to clarify those questions. So that is the overview of the task. Secondly, what she do is she will do a research. So she will research on, the inspiration, what is the subheadings on what she's researching. So here's an example. There will be like the block length, the block copy length, what is the title pattern, the common structure. She will put like a few options here. So for the client to choose, stuff like that. And then the structure of the blog, what is the hook of the blog, what is the brief intro of the blog post, any reflection, reminder, takeaways, and any call to action that need to be on that blog as well. If she's not clear, it's fine. You just need to know that it should be there so that you can clarify with your client. And then she will have the the first draft based on the research and structure plan. She will write the first draft here, and then she will send it to the client. They get review it, give feedback, and then she can write the second block, and then give another feedback again. And then, after the second review and revision, she can place the final one here. And then that is when, you by doing this process, you can capture all the draft of the versions of your work so that you can refer back later. All right. Sorry, that was a bit of me talking. Is there any question or feedback from you guys? Obviously, I will share this template for you guys so that you can duplicate it and use it in your work. Yeah, all good? Thank you.
Hope we recorded that. That was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it was recorded.
Put it online so they can watch it again. It all seemed to go very quick. All right, cool. So, anything else, Pearly, today?
No, it's pretty much from me.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we'll see you in, the calls are back to normal now. So Wednesday, Thursday, if you're on those ones. And we'll be in touch. Oh, the webinar's tomorrow. Does everyone know about the webinar tomorrow? Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat. Just make sure you click on this before we close because it does expire. Do you have that anywhere handy? Pearly?
Yeah, I can pop it into the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. Oh, you put it in the WhatsApp group. Cool. Jump on the webinar because I'll be talking about the Campus Life program and how we match people, and then it'd be good to have a few people there who are available or to have experience with that, because hopefully they'll see your beautiful faces and go, oh, I'd love to work with her. So we'll see what we can do to get the rest of you matched in that process. We've got about, I don't know, 12, 14 people registered, and they're all interested. So it's the last intake, which would be great. All right, that's it for me. We'll see you on the call tomorrow, and then Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm going. All righty, see you everyone.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.